Welcome back to Meet You at Breakfast. I am Ben here with Brian and Julia to talk about the first 3 episodes of the brand new season of the Traitors US season 4. We have a lot to talk about. We have like 4+ hours of content or something like that.
Mhm.
We have 3 episodes, and each one is like over an hour long, so it's a crazy amount. We have basically 2 full rounds of the game. We have a secret traitor twist to talk about. We had the secret traitor twist basically kind of flop, and that secret traitor was banished in episode 3. So we have a lot to go through here.
Yeah, they really fed us with lots of content. My notes app my cup runneth over.
Oh man. Yeah, I thought, trying to take my emotions out of it. It was pretty good for the first 3 episodes. I am very interested to see if this getting rid of the gamer strategy makes it better. Listen, a lot of people complained about the gamers. We liked the gamers last season, but a lot of people didn't, and this is for them, I guess.
Yeah, I literally, my main note says, Ian, I cry for you. That did me. I don't know. I mean, I think they're really going housewife heavy this season, just with the cast being so housewife heavy and then having 2 housewife traitors. I was really surprised with that, but I feel like they're really just leaning into the Bravo girls. And as a Bravo girl, I love it, but I'm also like, I don't know. How do you guys feel about there being 2 housewife traitors?
Ben, you want to take that?
I mean, here's my thing, right? I think that basically we talked about this last season as well. Seasons 1, 2, and 3, they were extremely heavy on gamers in the turret. Every single season, they had at least one Big Brother and Survivor player in the turret. So season 1, we had Suri and Cody, and in season 2, we had Dan and Parv, and then season 3, we had 4 eventually throughout the entire season. We had Carolyn and Rob and Danielle as starting traitors, and then subsequently Brittany as well. So through 3 seasons, we had 8 out of the 14, 15 traitors being like gamers from these 2 specific shows. So from this season, it very much feels like they're kind of like overcorrecting in the opposite direction to try to break out of this meta cycle, because you could tell even in season 3 that everyone was like, oh, there's got to be at least 1 or 2 gamers in the turret. That's kind of what they've been doing. And so here we get 4 traitors that are completely on the opposite end of the spectrum of the Big Brother Survivor vibe. And the consequence of that is the first 2 murders. We have 2 out of 2 murders have been gamers. Probably the 2 biggest nerd gamer archetypes on the cast have been targeted as a consequence of that. So it's as somebody who's obviously a fan of Ian and a fan of Rob Cesternino, we haven't seen Rob Cesternino on a reality show for real. Obviously he's on RHAP, he's in the ether, but we haven't seen him on one of these shows in over 20 years. So it is disappointing that both of them are out within the first couple episodes. But I think that this is basically the gamers paying the piper for them having so much control for the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, and I think it's actually quite smart of the traitors picking up on these gamers so easily, and all of them clocked Rob so fast when he said it to the wrong person. He said it straight to Candace. I think they're doing a murder in sight. And she's like, okay, bye, Rob. And it's I think they talked to them not thinking that they were gaming as hard. But Rob R, he was flying over the kitchen island to get that and the cards and everything. Everyone is, what I've seen in the TikTok spheres, everyone's very impressed with Rob at the moment. And I think that they're actually doing a pretty decent job. And I think them going for the gamers right away, they're getting out the smart people that are going to easily catch on to them.
Yeah, it's not a dumb move to get rid of all of the gamers. I think the traitors are going to be well positioned to win. In fact, I think Rob has a great chance to win this game if this continues. Just disappointing. But That's actually a great point. Let's segue to talk about Rob a little. Obviously, Julia, Love Island. That's
My man.
yeah. You had the podcast there with Jenny. What can you tell us about Rob?
Rob he's kind of like a give us nothing king, but yet everybody loves Rob. On his season of Love Island, he just kept staying, kept going. Everybody just loved to attach themselves to Rob just because of he just has that kind of like alluring persona to him, and he's so like interesting and so like low key that people just gravitate towards him. And like so many people online have been picking up on that, and like it's exactly how it was in the Love Island house. All of these people are just like them being like, Rob, catch me, and Rob this, Rob that. Like people are just obsessed with him, and I mean I'm obsessed with him, so like I get it. And if he ever asked me on a date, I would say yes. But like he's like he's just like one of those people that everybody wants to be around, and I feel like nobody's going to go after him because they just want to be around him so much. And I think him being a traitor puts him in an insanely good position.
Yeah, and for Ben, I don't know about you, I was having a little bit of flashbacks to the two Robs on Shapira.
Yeah.
I don't know if that played a role into Rob Sesternino's murder here, but now he doesn't have to be Rob R anymore. He can just be Rob.
Yeah, he's like, there's only room for one Rob. I'm like, yes, King.
It's not the first time, you know, that Rob Sesternino has gone out early on a reality show because there was another Rob that blindsided him.
Unfortunate. I did see a very funny thing. People were wondering if the other like non-gamer traders, did they think Rob Sesternino was Boston Rob? They're like, oh, Rob from Survivor, that must be Boston Rob.
I mean, I doubt it.
I doubt it. He was just on last season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If they've caught up,
they were like, oh, he won Survivor.
Yeah.
I don't. Did they say he won? Did anyone say he won
They
Survivor?
did. I'm pretty sure at breakfast after he got murdered. So I was like, oh, he's smart. Yeah, he won Survivor.
I thought that was referring to Jam Jam. I thought that was like maybe Colton or somebody.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe I misinterpreted. Yeah.
I love Jam Jam.
Because I thought they said it about Rob, and then Jam Jam heard it, and I was like, what? Don't be saying that. Like, I actually won Survivor.
I thought that was like Colton talking to Tiffany about Jam Jam, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. I have my thoughts about Colton too.
He's
like, him and Pilot Pete. I mean, we never even got a chance to talk about it. That I got to meet Pilot Pete after we wrapped our last of the podcast, and in person, he is exactly how you would expect him to be in person. He's very flirtatious. He's very Pilot Pete, and him and Colton are kind of cut from the same crop a little bit, but like Colton had a really weird season of The Bachelor, and now he's like married to a man, and I feel like a lot of people are saying that he's going for the Gaggy Windy kind of arc, and I'm like, no, there's only room for Gaggy. All right, you're not allowed in that. And so a lot of people are speculating that he's trying to get back on the Bachelor Nation good side by kind of having a Gabby arc, and I don't know if it's going to do it for him. I think he's lost the Bachelor Stratosphere's support, so we'll see. But
I thought that was going to be more of like a Sandoval kind of, you know, like image rehab.
Sandoval did not fix his image much, but I had more enjoyment watching Tom Sandoval than Colton.
Yeah, well, I think Tom Sandoval is like the case for going on the Traitors to rehab your image. I mean, I didn't know him at all. I really enjoyed him last season. I found out stuff about, all I knew about Colton was that he was on The Bachelor, and now he's gay, and that's all Colton seems to talk about every chance he gets. But then I saw some other stuff about him, and I was like, oh, that's bad. So I don't know. He needs more image rehab than Tom.
Yeah, he's not a good dude. Tom's just, you know, a cheater, but Colton is kind of a crazy pants. I don't know. Yeah. I do see people like the vision of him trying to have an arc like Gabby, but Gabby didn't need the arc. She was already loved, and now she's loved more. So I feel like he's doing the thing like where, oh, I was the lead of The Bachelor and now I'm gay. It's like, there's only room for
nothing
one of
happened in between. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
go online.
Yeah, nothing else happened. Yeah. Nothing else interesting in his life. But no, I have seen that people have been clocking how many times he's like, yay, like, ooh, I'm gay. And
Mhm.
it's like, we get it. It's all right.
Right.
We get it. But yeah.
I mean,
you guys-
he probably will do well this season too. It
Yeah.
seems like people.
I think he'll
like
fly
him
under
so
the
far.
radar. So
Yeah.
Well, from what we've seen so far on the like faithful side, I think that he is like, I think somebody did like a a screen time analysis of the cast so far through 3 episodes. I think he is like in the top 3 in terms of faithfuls who have gotten the most screen time, and we also get him like taking a ton of credit. Well, obviously we talk about like go through the specifics, but like the Donna banishment, I think he's the one who's like visibly taking the credit for sussing her out and getting her banished. So
yeah.
Maybe we kind of have like an early season, like maybe it is going to be like kind of a pilot Pete arc where he's like going to be the vocal leader of the faithfuls for the first half of the season, and then kind of gets sniped out halfway through because everyone knows he's faithful.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, what did we think of the Traitors? I guess, do you want to like just break them down
one by one? Yeah.
So Lisa is like the housewife, right? She's like the most famous person from that show.
God. She is probably one of my favorite people to ever walk this planet, and I don't even care if I get backlash for that because she is so funny. She is a character. Like if you ever have free time, just go back and watch some old episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She has not changed one bit over the years. She even has the same hairstyle. She hasn't changed at all. And I love her for it. She is just out here trying to get her bag all the time. She's done a million acting gigs, a million different promotional things. And I just love her. I think she's a queen. So she is my favorite housewife to ever exist. So love her.
Yeah, she seems fun so far.
Yeah,
you go, Ben.
No, I was gonna say she seems fun so far. She seems like kind of buying into the whole premise really well. I think that like almost too well in terms of like everyone, even before the Traitors were like super revealed to each other, we're kind of being like, yeah, it makes sense for Lisa Rinna to be a traitor because of her like vibe and personality or whatever like that. It kind of just like it makes sense, and I think that she was probably on the list of people in my head as to who I expected to be a traitor coming in. Like in my head coming in, I had her. I had ironically Donna. I had one of the 2 figure skaters. I was leaning Johnny, but I could have seen them do a thing where they wanted one of them in the traitor, and then also I expected them to narrow it down to 1 gamer as opposed to 2, and I was thinking that it was going to be Tiffany, but that didn't end up happening. So I think that like of the people who of the people in the turret, she was the one that I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was between the housewives. I was really hoping for either Lisa or Candace, and I wasn't expecting there to be both of them, which I was really happy because Candace is my favorite housewife from Potomac. So it was kind of like, I love Lisa Rinna though, so I was really vouching for Lisa. But then to have both of them, I was like, oh, this could be fun. And then Rob just kind of sealed the deal. I was kind of like, okay, the little 3 amigos happening up there.
Yeah. So I mean, Ben, what did you think of Candace so far?
Well, I mean, I think that Candace, I like Candace as a television personality so far. I am not a great fan so far for gameplay as a traitor. Of the 3 traitors, she's definitely the one that I am the most looking at as probably the next one to get banished of the 3. Between her having the situation that we can talk about with Portia. Obviously, Portia ends up getting banished herself. Besides, this blow up in the kitchen, the situation it was I think Monet was the one who maybe said that, or
yeah, we got to talk about Rappaport too.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah. Well, obviously,
We will, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. We'll circle
unfortunately,
back to him.
we can't not talk about him given his
Yeah.
presence so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like her, saying but not saying that Rappaport was coming after the housewives, and then Portia being like, "Hey, did you say this?" And her being like, "No, I didn't say that," and Maura being like, "I wasn't paying attention to anything that was happening."
That Maura saved Candace's ass so much in that. She's like, "I don't know, darling. I don't know." And like, thank God, because she really covered Candace there so much with her just being like, "I don't know." And but it's funny because if you look, I watched it back and Maura was in the car, like, no way, like super fascinated in the conversation. And then for her to be like, "I don't pay attention that well." I'm like, girl. But yeah, I mean, she definitely saved Candace there because Candace, like, kind of, I mean, I think Portia kind of called her out when she didn't need to, but Candace also put her foot in her mouth a little bit. So it was kind of more kind of covered her there at the last second. But I don't know. I think Candace definitely needs to be more careful because I could see her definitely being banished early on.
Yeah. I think that also she's been very I think it's very lucky that Donna ends up being a secret traitor for Candace because like Candace at the roundtables has been so vocal in a certain direction, and like it very much comes off like a traitor trying to cover themselves as opposed to like a faithful trying to solve the mystery. So yeah, she's just, I think, not subtle enough at this point from my perspective to really pull this off, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how she is on the Housewives too. She's very outspoken, but Lisa is too in a different way. But Lisa, I think, can also kind of like reel it back and like be sly. And I think that's why she'll probably succeed more than Candace. Candace is very quick to respond to things and not necessarily in a good way. So I think she's definitely probably going to put her foot in her mouth again. So we'll see how it goes down, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're both interesting. I do love how they're seemingly having a blast being traitors together and just cackling in the turret. That's fun. I like that energy for traitors. What about we kind of talked about Rob. Ben, do you have anything you want to say about Rob?
Yeah, well, I think Rob being there also with the two, especially now that Donna's out of the picture, like this is the three, right? Like if you're Rob, they did the whole hands in, we got to work together, but like you can't, as Rob, go into an end game with both of these women still in the turret. Like that's just asking for the two of them to team up on you, get you out, and then split the money between themselves. Like at a certain point in the next 2 to 3 rounds, Rob is going to have to make a move to get one of the other two of them banished. And to me, I think that's going to be the more intriguing thing of how this plays out, because there is like that, implicit tension of like Rob knows that he can't go in an endgame with two housewives. The two housewives are going to have to like kind of jockey for position. Maybe they try to take Rob out preemptively because of this. It's going to be kind of like a standoff until one of them really makes a move. And from my perspective right now, I think Rob comes out on top here just because he has the least like kind of sus on him of the three. And especially this like killing off of gamers, like I think that if people see a pattern there, obviously the third murder is not going to be a gamer. The third murder is pretty much going to be Eric or Kristen. But if like maybe the fourth or the fifth murder is also like like Natalie or something, like then people are going to start looking at the housewives. So that's the other major faction, and be like, hey, all of the gamers are getting killed off. They're not going to do that to themselves. That would be stupid. Which faction of people is going to be targeting them? It's going to be the housewives. And, 2 of the 4 remaining housewives are the traitors. So 50-50 chance you're going to hit.
Yeah. I mean, Rappaport made a good comment at the beginning. He said something about how there was it was very housewife heavy. And he's a huge housewife fan. He's very into the Bravo community and everything. And that him saying that statement was kind of what Candace dialed back to in the beginning. But he did have a point where there are a lot of housewives, and I feel like they might need to go after a housewife next to kind of take that heat off of them, because there are two of them up there. So,
well, he kind of did with Portia, but accidentally.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but she put her foot in her mouth big
Yeah.
time. I don't know how. I was convinced she was the secret traitor, and she was just terrible at it. Like, how did what was she? Where did she get these things from? As she was saying, I was shocked. I mean, I think she just pulled stuff out of thin air and just went with it.
Yeah, I needed her to get killed because I needed to know. Like, she's just a terrible traitor or a terrible faithful.
Yeah.
Like, let me know.
She's not very good at it. Not very good at the game. But rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. What about Donna Kelsey? Careful, obviously. Swifties don't want to draw their ire.
The Swifties have like 20 people on the cast who just voted to banish her that they're probably a higher priority than us. So
yeah, that's something I actually wanted to bring up. I wonder if a lot of people are like, listen, we don't want to incur the wrath of the Swifties, so we have to just all vote for Donna, and then it'll be dispersed maybe a little evenly versus like only a few of us voting and her going out, and now we have like millions of fans mad at like a few of us.
Well, I guess Colton didn't get the memo because he put his foot down. He was like, that was my kill. I did that.
Yeah. He doesn't care. He's
yeah. But did you guys see the stuff about how there was like physical demand allegations, and like that's why they made Donna the secret traitor, so that it was easy to go against her and get her out? Because if you look back at the chair competition where they're pushing the chairs, I guess she was nowhere in sight during that competition. She didn't even compete in it. And so I guess that was one of the reasons to like get her on the show, let her play a little, and then get some traction with people watching it, and then get her out early because of the physical demands. And she like didn't meet all the physical demands for the challenges.
Interesting.
It's like a Scaramucci. Celebrity Big Brother.
It's a twist.
Yeah. Well, no, because they did the banishment before that the chair mission, right? They did it in the opposite order. That was one of the things.
Was it the one that they did after her, or was it the one before her?
Was there a third mission? I thought it was just the
Rob
chair.
was still there for the mission with the chair.
She was still there, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the before Rob got murdered challenge.
Yeah, but they switched.
And then the next morning is when she got banished.
So she got banished after.
Because then they did the cage one after that.
Oh, yes, the cage one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So people were saying that like she wasn't even, if you zoom in on like the clip of them showing everyone running, I guess she like wasn't in it. And like, I mean, I didn't read too much into it. I was just watching a handful of videos off of it, but people were saying that she wasn't in the competition. She couldn't do it, like the physical demand. So like, that's why she got the boot. And like, that's why they kind of made it easy enough where like, oh, she was this traitor. Woohoo, they got a traitor. But like, how much of it was she actually like doing behind the scenes, or was she just there for show? So I don't know. I don't know I don't know how I really feel about the whole thing. I think she was a darling, and I don't have any like.
I mean, I wanted to see her actually in the turret, so it was like really frustrating in hindsight to know that she was a traitor, but to basically not get to see any of it. And like, this is kind of my main issue with the twist in general. And I know they're also doing this twist on the current UK season of the Traitors right now, which is why I expected it to happen here as well. But there is like, I don't love situations where the show is like deliberately hiding important pieces of the narrative from us and then not going back and actually like adequately filling in the gaps. Because I think that there's a good way to do this. I think the Genius, the South Korean show, the Genius does a really good job of this, where they have like kind of like storytelling formulas where they'll tell like an entire episode from the perspective of one person or one alliance or one faction or whatever. And then halfway through the episode, they'll do like a reveal where actually they didn't understand something or they didn't know something and there was a plan going on in the background, and then they'll rewind the entire episode and basically tell the entire story again from the winning side's perspective. And I think that's a really compelling way to tell the story. But here we got like 3 episodes of not knowing who the secret traitor is. You know, Donna Kelsey is making these decisions about who's going to get murdered, and you know, it results in both Ian and Rob getting murdered.
Mhm.
And then we get like a 2-minute segment of her like vaguely explaining her decision making that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So like,
Yeah, she was like, I've wanted people under the radar, and it's like, were Rob or Ian that under the radar? I don't know.
Yeah, like, and I just, I don't know. I feel like they probably just kind of set her up to like make the decision in theory, but I feel like she was just kind of there as like a poster child. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
I
think
didn't
the
love
whole
the
thing
twist.
feels weird now. It felt weird, and then I think just her being gone conveniently so early when she seemed to be well liked. But then again, people were all like, "Oh, like Donna's giving us nothing," and it's like, okay, well, she's like 30 years older than all of you. Like, give her a second. Like, but that makes sense though. If she can't compete in the missions, then she can't contribute to the prize pot. Not that the prize pot's really all that important, anyways, but because they can get it back in the end.
You can
Anyway.
get it, yeah, at the end.
I
They'll
always
just leave it
laugh. Like
all.
the missions are just kind of funny to me because like they're gonna get a chance to get it back at the end. So like, what? Like you might as well just go for the shields and stuff.
Yeah, and also most of these people don't need like, you know, 250,000 potentially split between 2 to 4 people.
Yeah.
You know, after tax as well. Like,
it's a bragging rights situation.
Most of these people, like that money is not going to like significantly alter their life.
No.
Like there are a couple people where it'll be like a deal, like, but yeah, I mean, most of these people probably make more money from their regular shows and careers and jobs or whatever.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to do the same prize pot for the civilian version as well. I wonder if it's going to be more.
I think the prize on the civilian version makes a lot more sense, obviously.
Yeah.
They're not, you know.
I mean,
whatever.
We applied. So, Ben, did you end up applying or no?
I did not apply.
Come on. I sent my application in like months ago and I haven't heard anything. So, but they're still taking applications. So, cross your fingers for us. So,
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
For me, it's just kind of like, why not? Like, probably won't get picked. Probably will never hear back. But why not just try?
Yeah.
You know,
I made a very compelling video, so I hope that they appreciate it. I was sitting right here and I just yelled at my phone and I said, pick me. Pick me or else. Thank you. I will show up there anyways.
Plus, with the civilian one, they don't have to do appearance fees. Like, I'm sure some of these players are making more off of the appearance fee than winning the game.
Yeah. It's mostly just an image thing, and if you win, it's just a bragging rights thing. And
he could launch you to Dancing with the Stars, like Dylan Efron.
Yeah, I love Dylan Efron. He did. He was like stiff as a board on Dancing with the Stars, but it's okay. People loved him, and his partner Daniela is my favorite pro. So I've got my thoughts on Dancing with the Stars as well. So
we have Mark on the season from Dancing with the
Stars. Yeah.
He said a couple words here and there.
Yeah, Mark's all right.
Nice
I mean,
hair.
People have been giving him crap this past season of Dancing with the Stars because he only comes back like every couple of seasons with a partner that's going to like get him to win. Like he had Charlie D'Amelio a couple years ago. Obviously, she was gonna win.
Right.
And this past year, he had Whitney Levitt from Mormon Wives, and she was exceptional. But people did not want her to win for this sole purpose that Mark never has a bad partner, and so she got up before the finale. So it was like the first time in a long time that Mark hadn't made it to the finale.
All I know about Whitney is that TikTok that she did when her baby was sick. She was like dancing, explaining it. But
yeah, she's like, my baby has pneumonia.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
It's like, oh, yeah. She's like a little controversial. She's not my favorite, but it's all right.
Oh, The Secret Life of Mormon Wife seems pretty wild. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, I started it. I watched like the half of the first season and I just like couldn't do it. But I'm like, I watched the Real Housewives I watch all the Real Housewives franchises. I'm like, I should be able to do this. So I'm gonna give it another chance at some point. But I just finished the new season of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and that's my favorite franchise. So I need a new show. So maybe I'll give Mormon Wives a chance.
Feels like, is it also Salt Lake City?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So I need a new Salt Lake City show to.
Well, there's only really like 2 cities in Utah,
Right. With a lot of
Yeah.
Mormons.
It's like
With
Salt
all the
Lake City and, like,
Mormons,
Provo,
yeah.
right?
Mhm. Yeah, they're not good Mormons. They're bad Mormons, but it's all
Oh.
good. No, they're
What
not
are
like.
we? Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. They're crazy ladies.
So what do we think of Ian getting murdered first?
That was sad. I feel bad for Ian.
Me too. I think he summed it up well. He's like, I don't really know what I could have done differently.
No.
Like, he didn't do anything to
He
get
didn't do anything.
killed. It just all went bad for him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, other than well, with the way the first mission was set up, it wasn't like getting shields, it was like not getting put up. And there wasn't like a ton of way that you could avoid getting put up if like another team just wanted you to be up. And there wasn't really like Natalie did have the really interesting strategy that ended up getting flipped back on her team of like, let's just team up with those morons and tell them we're going to work together and like not
Mhm.
target the third group, which is like quintessential Natalie to come up with a divergent strategy really smartly on the spot while still calling the other team morons for no apparent reason. But yeah, I mean, it's just I think that with the early murders, it basically comes down to, did you happen to form a social bond with somebody that was a traitor? And if you
Mhm.
didn't, like, happen to form a right social bond with the correct person early on, you'll probably just like, there's like a 1 in 5 chance you catch a bullet, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, I was really sad. I really wanted Ian to redeem himself, especially after BB All Stars was the last time we saw him, and that wasn't too hot for him either. So like I was really hoping for an Ian redemption arc because I have a soft spot in my soul for Ian Terry. I don't know what it is about that man, but he does it to my heart. And I wanted him to do well, and I'm sad for him. But you know what? Maybe they'll have a Dorinda moment for him next season, and he'll come back and he'll do it again. But yeah, I was sad for Ian.
Yeah. First winner of like the first season of Big Brother I ever watched. So, special place in my heart for Ian. Was very sad to see him go that early.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Dorinda too, everyone like applauding her for making it to the breakfast was hilarious because she almost didn't. But I don't think she's really gonna do much. So I feel like she would probably be the best housewife murder for them to do because people would feel bad, I think. But I also feel like people would understand because she's gonna coast off the idea of like, oh, I made it further than I did last time, but is she really doing anything different?
See,
Right.
I think that Carolyn's probably the better murder for them of the two if they want to choose one.
True.
But it's probably better for them to not kill either and just try to like, when the like it's got to be a housewife narrative starts flowing, then they try to push it onto like Dorinda, because I think that there could be like some kind of logic of Dorinda got brought back the next season and they made her a traitor to make sure that she wasn't the first food back to back. That was something that I thought about coming in as well, where like maybe they'll make her a traitor just so to make sure that she isn't the first boot again.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
So I think that might be like an argument that they'll be able to push. When I say they, I mean like Lisa and Candace in particular.
Yeah, Caroline is like safer choice then.
Yeah, when this like housewife, it's got to be a housewife in the turret starts.
Caroline's a pretty like unrelevant housewife compared to them in the situation too, so I feel like it's not going to be as much of a blow. So
yeah, that's kind of my thoughts as well. Where Caroline's very quiet, she's not really like seeming to be involved in a lot of the discussions right now. There's not really like a strong reason why you would push it onto her. Whereas with Dorinda, there is like that kind of narrative you can at least try to work.
Yeah, and she's from Housewives of Dubai, and that's more of a relatively newer franchise. So like the other 3 that are left are very well secured housewives and ex-housewives. So, I feel like people won't really clock it as much because she is like a newer, more low-key housewife compared to the other 3. So it wouldn't be a terrible thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of housewives, right?
Mhm.
Portia, she's a
Yeah.
housewife. Uh, we talked a little bit about her not doing great,
Mhm.
getting a target on herself out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
just
But
putting it straight on her own back.
yeah,
Yeah, I just there's like so many things. I mean, you could probably more quickly delineate all the things she did right as opposed to the things she did wrong, honestly. But like Candace has this conversation in the car about Rappaport targeting housewives and the coffin mission, and then I do think that like confronting Rappaport about it makes sense, right? To try to make
Mhm.
sure that like you're not getting fed nonsense by a traitor, which is kind of
Right.
what was happening. But like doing it in a public spot in front of like 10 other people is like you're just creating you're injecting yourself into unnecessary drama instead of
That's
just like
housewife, so
yes.
like
Well, sure,
that's how what they're used to.
true. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's still bad gameplay.
Yeah, 100%. I don't watch Atlanta, but I've heard that she is like that though, just in the housewife realm, just very like going 0 to 100,
Yeah.
nailing it down. I mean, that's just so housewife of them too. I think
Yeah, no,
all
it
like
fits.
it's so yeah, and that's why I think Candace needs to bite her tongue a lot too, because she is also like that. So, and Rinna can be too, but I think Rinna's come a long way. So I think she's got more stamina to hold it than the other housewives, but I think it was very normal of Portia to have that kind of reaction, and I'm not fully shocked by it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then obviously the big one of the first batch of episodes, probably without Rob Cesternino, we're probably not talking about the Traitors. He opened the door to me, at least, for like, oh, you can talk about these shows that you like watching.
Mhm.
What was it, 20 years, Ben? 20 years since he was on reality TV. It was
Over
over
20 years, 22 years
Wow.
at this point.
Yeah. I thought he was great for what we got from him, and I was really
Mhm.
happy to see him on and very sad to see him go.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, well, we got to talk about the murder in plain sight situation anyways,
Yes.
because Candace was simultaneously clocking Rob making these comments about the murder in plain sight while Rob and Lisa were on the other side of the castle making the decision to murder Rob. So it was almost like they had like a telepathy moment because Candace wasn't part of that decision at all. And I think she was subconsciously hoping that they were going to pick him in that moment because she was like, oh my God, this guy's on to us. He's saying exactly what we're doing right now. And meanwhile, Rob and Lisa are murdering via chess.
Yeah,
So I
it was
think
very
it
obvious.
worked out. Yeah.
The conga line
Yeah.
was so extra.
Yeah. Who was watching over them? Like Tara, right? She was just like sitting there watching them play chess. And he's like, no one's going to watch us play chess. And Tara's just like,
right.
Yes, and Tara was one of the names on the board as well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I just like the thing with a murder in plain sight is historically, like as Rob references in the show directly, like they have to hug you, or they have to like toast you and say your name, or they have to like make you eat something or drink from something. Like usually there's some action where the person getting murdered is involved in the murder in plain sight. And that's kind of why like Rob is like hiding behind doors and trying to not engage with people because he doesn't want to get caught in whatever action they have to do. But in this murder in plain sight, they don't actually have to engage with the person they're murdering in any meaningful way.
No.
So it's just kind of like a unfortunate situation where he knew what was going on, but there was no way for him to counter it.
Prevent it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just had to not get caught.
Well, I mean, he was caught, but him getting caught wasn't the reason he got murdered.
No.
So like, it's like, him saying that to Candace was bad when she was the one who started the conga line, and him like vocalizing this a bunch was bad. Like I understand him vocalizing it to Tiffany. That I think makes sense because Tiffany is very obviously faithful based off of the first round or so, and he has an alliance with her. So like that makes sense. But him like saying it openly in the kitchen, bad. But again, that didn't actually matter.
Yeah,
it didn't matter because Candace couldn't even make the decision.
Yeah, so it's like he made a mistake, but the mistake wasn't why he got eliminated. So it's like
no, it had it just simultaneously was not going well for him on both sides of the spectrum. So I think the Traitors had like a telekinesis moment where they're like, okay, Rob, and it worked out for them in their case because he was catching on to whatever was going on and he's very smart. But no, I think that was probably the best thing they could have done in that moment. So
yeah, no, agreed. Smart to get him out. Disappointing for us, but maybe he'll go on other stuff. Who knows?
Well, I mean, Dondi is done now, so.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he gets invited. Maybe he's the Dorinda for season 5.
Could be.
Maybe.
But yeah, and really, Donna Kelsey is the only other banished person. But we talked about her a little bit. I don't know if either of you had more for her.
Not necessarily. I think I would love to know a little bit more of the backstory and if it was like a real organic way of her leaving or if it was a little bit more planted.
But right.
I think that's really the only unanswered question and how she went about making all of these decisions by herself. But we have to just let the imagination decide.
I mean, going back a little bit to the Portia stuff and tying that into Donna, we could talk a little bit about Ron Funches here, who is like the one who kind of, kicks Portia out the door and then gets backlash because she ends up being a faithful. And the person that he kicked her out the door and protected ends up the next round being banished as a traitor. So really bad look from him. Definitely probably on the short list of most likely people to be banished next. Just kind of an unfortunate series of events that he ends up allying himself with a traitor. That traitor basically goes completely hands off and is like, Ron, this is your thing. You're going to get Portia out, even though she's the one in the chopping block. Like, she should be putting in a legwork, and she did no work at all. And then he invests all of his social capital into getting Portia out, ends up getting all of the backlash now for it. So, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about Ron. So I think it's a really unfortunate series of events for him.
No, I think that's exactly the best way to put it. I think he would have to do a lot of damage control in order to not get banished in the next 1 to 2 rounds. But I think he just needs to lay low and keep his mouth shut. I think he just gamed a little too hard, too fast. So hopefully, he can come back from this. If not, but we'll see.
Yeah, it just goes to show there's like no good reason to open your mouth at the round tables, especially early in the game.
Yeah, no, especially you have to eventually, like around like maybe halfway through the season, you have to maybe put your foot down and pick a side and like take a stand somewhere. But like looking at kind of the two sides of the spectrum here, we have like Ron on one side of the spectrum and like Colton on the other is kind of what I'm looking at. Where Ron takes this like huge stand and ends up being completely wrong. He takes a stand against a faithful to back a traitor, and now everybody thinks he's a traitor. Whereas now you have the other side, Colton, who takes this like vocal stance against a traitor and is correct and is now like the outcome is basically either he is completely cleared as a faithful in round 2, which is not a good place to be, or everyone's gonna be like, oh, was it traitor on traitor because Colton's like so vocally like trying to make this himself and make him be like, oh, I'm a traitor, or I'm not a traitor because I got Donna out early. And like both sides of the spectrum are horrible because on one side you're either like the number one like likeliest person to get banished in the next like couple banishments because you took a stance and were like very wrong, or you are so cleared as a faithful that you become the most obvious person for the faith or for the traitors to murder next because you are a successful traitor hunter that people are now following who is like almost hard cleared as a faithful. So like they're completely useless to you now. So like there's just no outcome that's good for you as a faithful.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of the faithfuls that are doing a little too much, though. Should we segue into
Yeah,
Rappaport?
let's do it.
Ay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can
He's
start.
exactly
I have
who
my
I
thoughts.
thought he would be, right?
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Yeah. Yeah, and people were saying that he had a position to do damage control for his own career, and he's just like not like no.
it's not even possible for
No,
him
his
to.
publicist is quaking somewhere. She's like, stop talking. But yeah, I mean, I think my favorite thing about him is that he is very much involved in the Bravo world and he loves the housewives. But I think he also loves the housewives because he loves the drama. And I don't think he's acting one bit. I think this is exactly who he is as a person. And he just needs to chill. If he wants to go a little further, he needs to just take it down a notch.
I disagree. I think at
Really?
this point he's like so. I would say the comparison for him at this point from a game perspective is like a Sandoval, right? Where he's just so vocally wrong, but also so obviously a faithful that like there's no reason for him to get banished because he's so obviously a faithful. Like the reason to banish him would be because he's like getting in people's way and like is so clearly like disrupting the flow of conversation, which almost happened in the first round that was like bandied about. But there's also no reason for the traitors to murder him because he's loud and wrong and he's like sucking up a ton of air. True. And not like he's like targeting Jam Jam, who's not a traitor, and like he's looking at people who are not the traitors. And if he is going to be like so protective of the housewives, like that's good because 2 of the 3 traitors are housewives.
Exactly.
So like, I think that at this point he's almost kind of buried himself into a hole where his only play is to just keep digging himself a deeper hole and like hope that he doesn't get killed. But like he can't win. I don't think he can win. Like his ceiling is like I think like 7th place. Like it's the same as Sandoval, where he just gets sniped out in the end game because
definitely. That is true. That is a good point where like he is just going to take the heat off of everyone else that actually needs to have the heat on them. And I think that he's just going to be a great decoy for the traitors just because people are speculating that he's a traitor. I don't know. I think him going so hard for Jam Jam too is like also taking a ton of focus too. So I think he's just going to soak up all that attention. And I guess
I'm perplexed at Tiffany Mitchell thinking that like legitimately thinking that he's a traitor and trying to do like the traitor angel with him and like actually thinking that he's right about Jam because like he's just like so clear, like it was like so obvious that he's not, and like Sesternino even points this out multiple times in the edit where it's like if he was a traitor he would have to be like a mega genius and he's obviously not, so like like he would have to be playing at like 3 levels deep of like social deception to be doing this. He's very clearly not a traitor, and it's like it's perplexing to me that Tiffany of all people is the one that thinks he is and is trying to traitor angel him.
Yeah, and people are like commenting on it too. They're like, why is Tiffany like going so hard for Michael all of a sudden? So
yeah,
I don't know if that's gonna turn around and bite her in the butt. But
it's a bad look. It's really bad for her.
It's making it look like they're both traitors together and they're like in a traitors alliance.
Well, I would say it looks like and this is what I think Colton or somebody says, and it gets kind of brought up in a conversation with Tiffany as a potential traitor. It looks like Tiffany is like basically glomming on to Rappaport as like a shield, like a faithful shield that she can like throw out in front of herself as like a parachute, while also doing the kind of traitor angel thing in the opposite direction. So like I don't know. I don't like what Tiffany is doing at all so far.
No.
I think it's really bad.
No, it was just weird vibes too, and like her kind of going with the like my greatest enemy is like my best friend in the moment. It's like, I just
it's too blatant, and it's also she picked the wrong person, and it's like really, it's really obvious, and it's obvious in a way that makes her look like the traitor, which is not good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the only thing is like, I don't know if she initially went in with this strategy, but like the people she's wants to work with are getting murdered. So maybe she's just like, I just need to try something desperately, you know?
Yeah, she's trying a different equation. We might not get the right answer, but worth a shot.
Yeah. I mean, because Tiffany's a great Big Brother player, but like, as we've learned, that doesn't matter on the Traitors.
Nope.
So,
Rip Ian.
yeah.
Well, and just like
Ian,
even
Dan,
historically,
Danielle, Cody,
Yeah.
like, just
well, I mean,
Yeah.
trail of corpses.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
BB Grave House.
spoilers for Canada, but I mean Netta, right? Is a kind of
Okay. Yeah. So the one.
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess anyone else from the cast that we wanted to talk about that we haven't?
Let me take a scroll through.
I think there's way too many people who have been so quiet, and we've like really, and like a part of this is just the format. A part of it is Rappaport taking up so much screen time.
Yeah.
But like Mark, Kristen, Eric, both Johnny and Tara, like there's like 6 or 7 people that have gotten like close to those screens.
Do you guys think that the figure skating alliance is really going to make that big of a difference? Like, do you think that people are going to catch on that they're actually like best friends?
I don't think it matters.
No. Yeah, because they're both faithful, so it's not like it really matters all that much. And people already know that they know each other, at least in passing, so they're not really going to think too much about it. And I think them kind of being like, oh, we're going to just pretend like we don't really know each other. It's like people already know that you're in the same community, so it's like it's not that deep. So
yeah,
I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but
built up in their own heads.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they keep talking about how their strategy is to pretend to not be close, but then they have yet to elucidate any other strategy other than being, Johnny being horrible in the missions.
Oh, that was so bad. That was so bad.
Yeah. That was quite embarrassing a little bit. Like, it's like, did he not understand that there was only 10 minutes?
Worse for me is like, I get to a degree somebody like a Jam being willing to put himself in because he has traitor sauce on him, right? Like, if you have some amount of traitor sauce on you, like taking a risk, especially because he was also safe the first 2 murders. So like, it kind of it's a bad look to try to get like 3 shields in a row. But like, if you are an Eric or a Kristen, who are the 2 people, it's basically a coin flip for me, which of them is getting murdered, right? Why are you putting yourself into the cage? Like, there's like almost no circumstance where I'm putting myself into that cage if I have no traitor sauce on me.
No. And the fact that it is now is like, thanks to Johnny, Eric is one of the 2 highest people that's probably going to get murdered next. And it's not a good, like, I mean, Eric wasn't doing really much, but like Johnny kind of just gallivanted around the town and didn't really even try to do the mission at all. So
yeah, that was so bad.
It's like when you see everyone else is already gone out of the swamp and you're just like 1, 2, 3 skulls. It's like, come on, put a little pep in your step. Do something. Like, it's just, there was just no, and people, it was funny. Everyone's like, isn't he an Olympic athlete? Like, why isn't he going? It's like, they're so valid for saying that because like, yeah, why wasn't he trying harder?
Yeah, not the first time an Olympic athlete on a competition reality TV show has been horrible in a challenge.
Yep. Oh man. Well, Alan has been, serving looks and been
always,
so good as the host. So great to have him back on the screen.
He warms a part of my soul, and the vibes are so high when Alan Cummings is just doing his thing.
Yep. Now he's definitely going to carry it through now that my gamers are getting picked off left and right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still very excited, especially I really like this Natalie and Monet alliance. I think that can be very fun. I really like, obviously, big Natalie Anderson fan, and then like I'm familiar with Monet Exchange. I know who Monet Exchange is. I'm not like a big Drag Race fan, but one of the like 5 to 10 Drag Race names that I know. So they've been fun so far. I'm hoping that can continue and be an interesting alliance.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I love the queens of drag on this show. They just know what's up, and I think that they are a very good pairing as well. I think that could be really interesting to watch.
And I know Monet is a big Survivor fan as well, which I assume is
Oh,
probably why
cool.
that part of why that alliance is so natural.
Yeah, I have more hope for Monet than I did for Bob the drag queen, of course. So I'm hopeful, but I'm curious to see, you know, how the season goes, you know, how our traders do, if they bring in another trader down the road, who they would pick, and kind of just the whole pipeline of the show. I'm curious to see how it's going to pan out. I think the cast is good, and I think we have a good season ahead of us for sure.
It does feel like Rob is starting to already, you know, plant the pieces for recruiting Aura. And like that kind of feels like the plan from him is to like get one of the housewives out and then can try to like strong arm through more recruitment so that he has the numbers. Like that kind of feels like what I got out of episode 3. So
I could see that. And I just think Rob is in just such a good place. Like that's just the kind of person that he is. And he's just, I wouldn't be surprised if he just wrote it right to the end, because everybody likes Rob.
Yeah,
Rob
no, I mean,
does
gun to my head right now. You ask me who's a winner, I say Rob. So
yeah,
same. Yeah, that was my big takeaway from this too. It's just like it's gonna win probably.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think what I'm gonna predict for the traders happening is I think Candace is gonna get got pretty soon, and I think Lisa and Rob are actually going to be a really good pair together. And I think you're onto something with Mara being scouted as the third. I could also see them maybe doing like, I don't know, maybe a gamer, maybe Natalie. I'm not sure, but I think Rob and Lisa will be probably the biggest trader pair, because I don't foresee Candace really making it that far. But I do think Rob is probably going to be victorious in the end because of just who he is. And people are going to trust him blindly until the end, because that's exactly what happened on Love Island. So I think that that's just going to be the way of the game. So.
Yeah, should be fun to watch play out. Anything else we want to touch on before we get out of here?
I think I got all of my notes. I think I'm good.
Do we want to do a prediction? Next murder and next banishment? I mean, next murder is at 50-50, so.
Sure. Ben, who do you think will be murdered next?
I'm going to say Eric murder and then Ron vanishes. I think
I think
I also agree. Yes. That seems to make the most sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Unless Ron comes out of the woodwork and does something crazy to redeem himself, but I think he's not in a good place right now.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, because I really do like him.
Yeah, he's fun.
He's a really funny comedian too. So, oh well, is what it is. All right, Ben, anything you want to promote before we get on out of here?
No, this is fun. I'm very excited to have the traders back. Traders US back.
Too. Yeah,
me too. And yeah, Julia, same thing.
Same thing.
All right. Well, as for me, of course, this is our podcasting channel with all of our various podcasts. Season 50 of Survivor is coming up fast. Not that fast. It's about a month and a half away. But there'll be a lot of preseason stuff that we'll do for it. So be on the lookout for that. Very excited, like you guys said, for the Traitors to be back. Main channel, Wicked Good Everything, Those Fake Nerds, Wicked Good Sports, all of those. Check them out, and we will see you in the next one.